a young boy tossed a coin from the great height. Unfortunately, at that very moment, a strong gust of wind blew the coin into a ventilation duct. After several consecutive bounces, the coin became lodged on the duct's fan blades. At this time, a grand ball was being held in the room below. As a server was opening a bottle of champagne, the ejected cork struck a crystal chandelier, causing fragments to fall and crack the glass floor. The guests were dancing on the suspended glass when the impact of their vigorous movements caused the rivets connecting the support platform's frame to loosen and fall out. Simultaneously, the coin that had been stuck moments before shot out, instantly puncturing a gas pipe. Gas began to leak out through the ventilation duct. The crowd remained unaware of the impending disaster. Suddenly, the glass beneath their feet shattered, and those standing above also fell through. The ballroom instantly descended into chaos as people frantically tried to escape, only to collide with the chef. The fire from the stove immediately ignited the leaking gas, causing a massive explosion that blasted the coin out once more. At this point, a woman noticed that all the objects were rolling in one direction. Realizing that the platform had begun to collapse, people slid downward with the momentum, fortunately stopped by the glass. Just as they thought they might narrowly escape disaster, the woman turned her head and saw a piano teetering precariously above, seemingly ready to crash down at any moment. The coin that had been blasted out earlier made its reappearance, landing squarely on the piano. The added weight caused the piano to plummet instantly, smashing through the glass and towards the woman. The others also fell along with the shattered glass. Lisa's ring caught on a steel bar, allowing her to survive by a hair's breadth. However, she could not support the weight of two people, and ultimately, both of them plummeted from the great height. At that instant, the woman was startled awake. It had all been Fanny's dream. Lisa was the name of her grandmother. Determined to uncover the truth, she decided to visit her grandmother and get answers. The area outside her grandmother's residence was not only desolate, but also had no trespassing signs posted at the entrance. Sharpened sticks lined both sides of the yard, which was also covered in barbed wire. The entire property resembled an ominously fortified stronghold. Fanny pushed open the door and entered. As she closed the door, a fire extinguisher mounted on the exterior wall was shaken loose. The grandmother recounted to Fanny the events that had transpired years ago. At that moment, the grandmother smelled something burning. It turned out that a beam of intense light had focused on the rope of a flower pot. The grandmother picked up a medicine bottle from the table and casually disrupted the light. Over the course of 20 years, she had predicted the potential killing methods the Grim Reaper might employ and recorded them in a book, which she intended to pass on to Fanny to study. However, Fanny did not believe a word her grandmother said and turned to leave. The grandmother hurried after her, intending to give her the book. But as she reached the doorway, the grandmother paused, envisioning countless scenarios in which stepping outside would lead to her being killed by the Grim Reaper. Yet, for the sake of her granddaughter, she resolutely walked out. After handing the book to Fanny, the grandmother said she would prove to her that the Grim Reaper truly existed. A gust of wind blew, causing a compass on the roof to fall, precisely striking the valve of the fire extinguisher and opening it.